Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, Dr. Haider Shah. On behalf of Calvas, I would like to welcome all of you to this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we have another very interesting topic, and I'm really honored to welcome and introduce our distinguished guest speaker who is going to talk about how to avoid mistakes in research publication. So today we will discuss into the key strategies and insights to help you navigate the complex world of research publications, ensuring that your valuable work research reaches to potential candidates and potential researcher. Whether you are a seasoned researcher or just starting your academic journey, you are the right place to enhance your publication success. So, indeed, a very interesting topic, and I'm sure you will learn a lot from this session because we have expert with us in today's this session. So, before we start, I would like to thank Calvas for arranging such enlightenment sessions for their support and providing us such a wonderful platform. The aim of Calvas is to give you the opportunity to connect and interact with world-renowned speakers, academic leaders, teachers, authors, researchers, experts, professionals, and businessmen to learn from their experiences, recommendations, and suggestions which will create an impact and will enable you to learn and develop yourself in order to grow and transform individually as well as to contribute to the world at large. As our slogan is come, learn, and share knowledge. So today we have amazing person as guest. She is a multi-talented person with a great, amazing qualities. She has a wonderful experiences and exposure. She is internationally known and recognized speaker. She is contributing to the world and field by sharing her knowledge on different platform, and we always see her while contributing to the world. And this is our second time we have requested her for another session because last session it was a wonderful and we got the warm response from around the globe. So this time we are going to introduce her shortly, just because we have already introduced her, and I'm just introducing her for the people who are joining for the first time. She is the international speaker, researcher, book author. She's a full professor and a director for internationalization, Mindanao State University-Sulu, Philippines. Last but not the least, she's a wonderful speaker, author, teacher, researcher, professional, and above everything, a great human being. So please help me in welcoming once again our guest, Dr. Magna Anissa. Welcome to the Kavas platform once again, and thank you very much for joining us, Prof.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Haider Shah, for this another invitation. Of course, I am really honored and overwhelmed by the gesture of inviting me as one of the speakers in your prestigious organization, the Center for Academic Learning, Writing, and Support Services, or known as CALWAS. Thank you, Dr. Shah, for in behalf of our institution, Mindanao State University-Sulu, in the Philippines, of course, headed by our very own active Chancellor, Dr. Nagdir J. Abdurrahman. We would like to extend our heartfelt thanks for always inviting us and including us to be part of your speaking engagements like this. And I believe Dr. Shah is from Pakistan, particularly in Baria Business School in Pakistan. So nice meeting you again, once again, Dr. Shah. And we will be talking this afternoon about how to determine errors in research publication, because it would be difficult for us as writers, researchers, to really write something if it's not being if it will not be published. So if possible, we are really aiming, our goal is after we will be writing our paper or our research paper, we must publish it as much as possible, because um, uh, so that it would not waste our time in doing all the researches. So this time we will be discussing what are those possible errors that may arise or that may come in during or writing the research publication. So thank you once again, Dr. Shah. I guess I will be starting my presentation on how to avoid mistakes in research publication. So once again, I'm Dr. Magna Anissa A. Hayudini from Mindanao State University, Sulu, Philippines. So headed by also by our president, Dr. Basari, Attorney Basari Mapupuno, and our chancellor is Dr. Nagdir J. Abdurrahman. So, okay. So what does how are we going to avoid or having a mistakes to avoid possible mistakes in doing a research paper? So as much as possible, if we have to avoid mistakes in research publication, because research publication is very crucial for us. We have to maintain the integrity and credibility of our work as much as possible. We have to make it sure that we really do the right things, that we personally have conducted the research. So I think we have known, we are known with the word plagiarism. So as much as possible, we have to really avoid that. So there are actually tools in order to to prevent plagiarisms and other problems like grammars and other errors. We have to apply that in order to have scientific research. So in order to avoid mistakes in research publications, again, we have to maintain integrity and credibility, because that is part of our work, that is part of our personal work, and at the same time we are bringing our institution. So if we will not be if we will not maintain the integrity and credibility of our work, of our research work, we are actually bringing the institution that we are in. So as much as possible, everything must come to a perfect or as much as possible the best research output that we will going to have. So there are some steps to help minimize errors, like we have to thorough review it before submitting for publication. And I believe that the inclusion of all panel members during the presentations are also very important, because all their shared thoughts, shared ideas and comments and suggestions are really important in integrating the research output to make it scientifically and scholarly published. Because I believe that you cannot just pursue some research paper if you will just going to do it alone. As much as possible, you do it by allowing others to scrutinize it constructively. And we should be always open to criticisms, constructive criticisms, and of course suggestions that all the panel members and all the people that can benefit or that can help your research paper, then you have to accept that, because they are the ones who help us to fix our paper. So if we are planning to publish it in the near future, then you have to accept that there are suggestions to be added, and of course those or recommendations that can be scientifically or scholarly included in your paper. So there are also other, for example, if you want to publish it in other publications, there are, you have to follow their format, because not necessarily you are just going to submit it um, and then you will not anymore you will see to it that y everything is okay. Actually, it's not. Once you have to submit it in the publication, you always have to anticipate that there are corrections that they will going to give you, and you have to accept that and you have to follow it, because it can actually provide you familiarization of what the publications that they are really giving us, or that we have to follow. Because remember that we are just human being. We should not always think that we are perfect, especially when doing this research output or research paper. So at the same time, as what I am telling you earlier, that it is if possible, we have to, the significant of peers, the significant of our mentors and other panel members to be part of our research paper is actually very important. Their feedback and comments are very crucial in improving our research output. Okay, so um, that is how we have to avoid research paper. So scientific research paper is actually are for sharing your paper, your own original research work. So as much as possible, it's your own work. You please avoid plagiarism, and I believe that there's no such researchers will going to just copy paste it or do the work of others, just uh, uh, pretending that it was yours. Actually, you have to be honest, not just to yourself, but to your institution and to those who are reading your papers. So as much as possible, limit all those errors, possible major errors that can actually distract your reputation as a researcher. So you have to share your own original research work with other scientists, and you also have to be open with other people. So recently, or if for example, you have made the paper on your own, so there will be a possibility that you will going to seek collaboration or support from other scientists or other scholars, specifically from other countries, because it can add, aside from it can add prestige to your research output, it can also benefit the publication and how it speed up your publications, because there are some scholars who are already known to some publications, and automatically some journal publications will accept your paper because they are already known to them. And the mere fact that they have also that the journal publications know the fact that your the other scientists that are part of your papers are a well-known scholars and researchers, and they believe that they will not submit anything that has anything that can bring down to their journal publication. So as much as possible, we have to be open with collaborations and partnerships, especially with other countries or other scientists or other scholars outside. Um, and then we also have to conduct reviewing for the research. We have to conduct for review. So again, if you can still remember, or if you write something, you have to have some validations, even reliability testing, you have to do it. And at the same time, pilot testing is also important, because you are not it's remember that it does not mean you have done your paper, it's already perfect, it's already correct. Remember that you need to test those things, so whether those things are legit, are okay, are are ready for publications. So there's samples of scientific research papers. First one is primary scientific research and secondary scientific research. So for primary scientific research, actually, when we talk about scientific research, it does not mean only doing paperworks. Um, Aside from that, is you can do that through laboratories. You can also get information through field work, or information from the field, or from of course from the community. And there are also some that it may be through natural experiments. So these are an examples of primary scientific research. And then for secondary scientific research, this includes meta-analysis, systematic reviews, and reviews. So this is already, when we talk about this, it pertains to the information. All informations gathered actually are coming from the different scholars. So it matters for the literature to be added in your study. As much as possible, the more literature or information or facts that you will going to have in your paper, the more it is, the more it will going to have a good result or output, because it may give credit or weight to your study, to your research, that you have done the best output of or the best research output. And then here is the format of scientific research paper. So we will not anymore dig with other examples, but since we are really particular, or the common type of research paper that we are using or we are applying is actually a journal type. So an example of journal type, the format may include a title, the authors. So if as much as possible, more than one authors are the best way to really identify best publications, because meaning to say that the work has done with many brilliant or pools or pool of researchers in that publication. And then affiliation, you have to also include where institution you belong. And then particularly abstract is also important. Remember, abstracts may include all the summary or the synthesis of the research output from the chapter 1 to chapter 5, or the whole item, and it will be summarized or synthesized into a brief discussion, and then it, as much as possible, 1 to 2 pages an abstract may do for that. And then an introduction, simple introduction, brief introduction that may start from, of course, from general to specific. And then the purpose, also the background of the study, may be also included in the introduction. Then methods is also important, because this is how you will going to conduct your study, how you will going uh, to present or to do your research. So
I think there is some internet connection issue, and Prof. Magna is telling us a very wonderful things regarding the format of scientific research paper, and the way she started it was so nice. That how can we differentiate between the different types, etc. So we are contacting her again, and she will be joining us soon, as the session is going very well. And she told us the very nice thing that which is the beginning of every research, that is the primary and the secondary one. And nowadays the young researcher and the established researcher, they always look to the literature, that what is going on. And most of the emphasis nowadays is has been given and is still being given to the bibliometric analysis, the systematic literature review, particularly in your PhD. The most important thing when you start your chapter 1 in the thesis, you focus on the literature review, because you need to identify the problem, that which problem you are going to solve, and what are the research gaps you are going to fill, and how it will translate into the research contribution. Everything will be just established from your literature review. So literature review is very important, and once you do the systematic literature and meta-analysis, so definitely that is going to help you in shaping your chapter 1 of PhD. But again, it is again the supporting system for the publication as well, because you get a lot of literature and understanding that what is happening in the field, and what are the latest trends and themes. And then you can start working by identifying the research gaps which are missing, the missing link between what has been investigated and what needs to be investigated further, because we see the limitation of the different research, and which opens up the venue for the future research. So I believe those are very important for all of us to conduct literature review in an appropriate manner. I do believe that literature review is a very kind of a drive, that once you start it, so it becomes very difficult for you to go through all the studies. What were their industry? What were their context? How did they investigate it? What were their methodology? What were their analysis, and what did they conclude, and what they have given as a implication for future research. But again, it is going to give you a lot of information and knowledge, and then you can try to investigate that what they have not investigated and what they have mentioned in their limitations that future research could target and future research could use it as a direction for future research. So I believe this systematic literature review and meta-analysis give you the that space where you can actually pinch your own idea and come up with the wonderful research contribution by filling the different research gaps. So similarly, we have the different kinds of types of the literature review, and similarly we have the different types of papers, and we have the different sources as the prof was mentioning regarding the primary and the secondary one. Primary data, when we are more inclined towards the questionnaire and collecting the data through the survey method, and we use the data analysis softwares, for example the amos and the smart pls and other. I believe all of them are very important for all of us to understand that which study you are going to carry out. And again, the study is carrying out, it should be based on rationality, and it should be based on that the problem, that what are the different research problem and how you are going to answer it through your research question. So I believe that while selecting a research topic, you must give due consideration to the literature review, what has been investigated, what has been found out, and what is lacking, and then you are trying to fill that gap. And that gap could be methodological gap, content gap, context gap, population gap, knowledge gap, whatever are there, you need to investigate it in that manner. And it importantly, the secondary as well. Mostly we go to the different databases in order to have the reports, and then we try to investigate it. So research is all about the requirement, which I usually say in the different classes, seminars, and workshops, that whatever we do in the research is may not based on our wish, but it would be based on the research requirement. So you must know what is the demand of the research and what is the requirement of research, and we have to carry out research in that way. So research is very much scientific and organized activity, and it is systematic one. So one has to learn it appropriately through the literature review, because I usually say in different classes that research starts and ends with literature review. What I mean by that is the that you learn each and everything through literature review, that what has already happened and what has been investigated, and then you try to fill that gap and try to come up with the unique methodology with the unique analysis and conclude it, and then again you give the future venues for the future research. So I believe this is the wonderful thing you need to carry out. I would like to wish you good luck for your research endeavors. And since we are contacting the prof, but I believe there is some issues, so we will continue this session in the upcoming days, and the prof will be presenting the further one, and we would take your questions as well. So I think we should wait for her for this session to continue in the upcoming days. So please do write us if you have any suggestion, any comment for us. You have our email address info@callwas.com, and you can follow me as well on LinkedIn, as well as on Facebook. You can write to me if you need any guidance or any suggestion for us. Please let us know. The aim of our this all webinars and the workshops and all those things are just to educate you and to help you in your research endeavors and to educate you on the different topics. So thank you very much for watching us, and please do support us. And I'm sure you will learn a lot from these sessions, and take care of yourself. We will be having more sessions in the future as well. So please take care and see you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.